Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to the stream. I hope you've all had a fantastic day. We're going to be talking about compulsions today. We're going to be talking about compulsions because I feel like there's still some confusion on what a compulsion might be. A lot of people watch the streams, they understand that negative behavior must go, right? Your brain learns through behavior as far as anxiety is concerned. That part is obvious, and we know that compulsions are definitely negative behavior. But there's still, I sense a little bit of confusion on what a compulsion is. What is a compulsion? What are the things that need to go? What are the things that are really teaching or sending my brain the wrong message? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I've got a pretty simple way of putting it that I feel like we can give you guys, instead of going over a million different examples of what compulsions are. I've got a pretty simple way of putting it that I can give you guys that I feel like you can apply in pretty much any situation to figure out what your negative behaviors or compulsions, whatever you want to call them, negative behaviors, compulsions, coping methods, you can figure out what those are with the way that I'm going to put it to you today. Edward, first in stream, what's up, dude? Soccer mom, hello. While we wait on that, I am going to send out a few links. We'll give people some time to get in here. All right, let's see. Get this pulled up real quick. Shouldn't take me long. Hope you've all been doing amazing. All right, so link is about to pop up in chat. If you are interested, I'm going to grab one more, and what time is it? It's about 6 in the afternoon for me, so we shouldn't wait too long. Should be able to get this party started in just a second. Let's see. Second link coming up for anyone who's interested. What's up, LM? Welcome to the stream. Wonder Bro, may the 4th be with you. I didn't even realize, dude. Shame on me. I didn't even realize. May the 4th. There you go. Alright, second link right there if anybody's interested in that. Miller, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Live sign. Yes, the live sign. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I've got it plugged up. Unless Nova bumped into it or something and accidentally unplugged it. Oh, wait. That is... Hold on. That is right. I don't have my little box in here, but that's okay. I should be able to use this. It's all a complex system of wires and cables that I try to keep organized, and it never really happens that way. There we go. I've got it kind of in the wrong spot because it did fall off the wall, and I quickly hung it back up. So it needs to be more up here somewhere, but that'll work for now. Hello, Wonder Bro. What's up, Pootie? What is up? What is up? What is up, Tree? I'll try to get to questions right after we cover the main point of the stream. Yeah, you're back. I had the weirdest dream about you. Well, hello. Feeling amazing every day. Get triggered there and there, but I keep going. Exactly. That's what it's all about, dude. So, all right. Big breath here. Let's talk about compulsions. Now, and we're going to jump right into it. Before we get into the point, which is what is a compulsion, I want to talk about first why compulsions are holding you back, right? When I say compulsion, it's just a term that basically means negative behavior or coping method or whatever you want to call it. But a compulsion holds you back because here's how it works. If your brain has declared that something is a danger, even though it's not, and that includes your negative intrusive thoughts, that includes any sort of situation you might find yourself in, whatever, when your brain concludes something that is a trigger for you, it's going to send you the false alarm of anxiety. Now, here's the problem with compulsions, right? We call this negative behavior. We call this coping method, whatever. Here's the problem with these things. When you use a compulsion in order to feel better, yes, sometimes you do get quick relief from that compulsion. But when you use a compulsion to get that quick relief, you are paying the price of then telling your brain that thing, that trigger, whatever sets you off, is a real danger. Because if it wasn't a real danger, you wouldn't have used a compulsion, right? The brain notices this. The brain makes the connections. The brain connects the dots. It's not stupid. It connects those dots. It's not stupid in this way, right? So let's say, for example, you are very triggered or upset over some sort of irrational thought, right? Some sort of what if thought. And you decide that, okay, in order to make this thought go away, I'm going to fight with it, argue with it, or I'm going to call that person that this thought is about and get some reassurance that this thing won't happen, or I'm going to avoid the situation entirely so that I know this thing won't happen, this thing that my thought has predicted. You do a compulsion, right? And when you do that compulsion to get that quick relief from that thought that's triggering you, or that feeling, right? You get the feeling and you're like, okay, I got to run to the bathroom so I can get rid of this feeling. It'll go away if I run to the bathroom, right? Whatever's triggering you, whether it be a thought, a feeling, a situation, if you take action to get relief from that, we call that a compulsion. So here's a good way to think of, here's a good way to answer the question, what is a compulsion? A compulsion is anything you do to try to stop the anxiety, right? So let's say that again. A compulsion is anything that you do to try to stop the anxiety. Now, sometimes these compulsions work. They're very temporary, right? Sometimes they work. Sometimes they bring that quick relief, and you're addicted to using them. The only problem with that, now that would be an issue, right? If you had something you did that brought you quick relief, I would say, okay, fine, great. But the only problem with that, and the reason I can't say, okay, fine, great, is because, again, when you use a compulsion to swerve your anxiety, to get relief from that thought or that feeling or that situation, whatever, when you use a compulsion to do that, you are telling the brain that trigger, whatever that trigger might be, is a real danger. So the cycle will continue. So basically what you're doing is you're getting some short-term relief, right, in the moment. You're getting some in-the-moment short-term relief, but at the exchange of the rest of your life. At the exchange of a brain that's not being retrained. At the exchange of a brain that's not learning, right? So it's not really a good trade. It's not really a good trade. So again, what is a compulsion? A compulsion is anything you do to try to get relief from the anxiety. Now that could be fighting with the thoughts. That could be some sort of mental ritual. That could be some sort of fleeing. That could be pacing around the house. It could be anything that you do to fight with and try to get rid of the anxiety. That is a compulsion. So next time you're confused, ask yourself, am I fighting with this anxiety in some way? Am I trying to do something in order to get rid of this anxiety, right? Eliminate that. Eliminate that. Go at your own pace. Go at your own pace, but you need to start eliminating that because we talk about the two main keys here. Positive behavior, which is showing your brain that the danger doesn't exist and not fighting with the thoughts and feelings, right? Positive behavior, which is showing your brain that the danger does not exist and no longer fighting with your thoughts and feelings, letting be what is while you carry on. But how can you do that, right? How can you do those two main keys if there's a ton of compulsions that exist that are telling the brain, hey, there's a problem here, right? You're exchanging short-term comfort and relief, and you're exchanging that for a brain that doesn't learn, a brain that's going to continue to keep you in the same cycle. So two main keys are accept what is in the moment, not fighting with those thoughts and feelings, and carry on with positive behaviors. But how can you do that if you have a ton of compulsions that you're doing? You can't be doing positive behavior, like I suggest, if you're doing negative behavior all the time, which is compulsions. So again, I'll say it one last time because I think that's pretty clear to most people here. What is a compulsion? It's anything you do to try to fight off that anxiety, right? Spot those. Slowly start to eliminate those. How can I expect you to do positive behavior and live your life if you're doing a ton of compulsions all day long, right? Your brain will never learn that thing isn't worthy of the alarm if there's a ton of compulsions being performed. The brain will never learn that thought isn't a real danger, that feeling isn't a real danger, or that situation isn't a real danger if there's a ton of compulsions going on, if you continue to do these compulsions. So understand that these compulsions, although they give you that short-term relief, they're going to lead to the same cycle. You're going to spend the rest of your life trying to do these compulsions. You're going to spend the rest of your life thinking that you have to do these compulsions in order to feel better. You're going to spend the rest of your life kind of hiding from anxiety and fighting it off with a ton of compulsions. And these compulsions, there's a million different examples of compulsions, but these compulsions become so tiring. Aren't you guys so tired, right? Aren't you just so tired of having to fight with every thought? Aren't you just so tired with having to make sure that conditions are going your way in order to feel good? Aren't you just so tired of continuously having to use these compulsions and these coping methods in order to keep the anxiety at bay? Aren't you so tired of living that way? I'm sure you are. And the thing about compulsions, too, is they eventually grow and grow and grow until the quality of your life has just shrank. They eventually grow and grow and grow until you feel like you can't live without them. They eventually grow and grow and grow until your ability to live a happy, successful life just continues to get smaller and smaller and smaller, because how can you really do anything that you want to do as a person if your life is just so overtaken by compulsions, right? Compulsion after compulsion, negative behavior after negative behavior. You're doing this to get relief, I understand. But as a result, you've got to carry around a bag full of compulsions. I don't mean literally a physical bag full of compulsions. I'm using a metaphor here. You got to carry around this big weight on your back of all these compulsions that you have to use and do in order to be safe from anxiety. And it might give you some quick relief in the moment, but ultimately it's costing you the quality of your life, because your brain's never going to learn. If every time you're triggered you turn to compulsion, you're telling the brain, hey, that trigger was justified and you should keep that the way it is, and it never learns. Now, I know it sounds a bit scary, right? Maybe more than just a bit. I know it sounds pretty intense to live your life without resorting to compulsions, right? So you're telling me, Wonder Bro, next time I get triggered by this thought, I can't solve it. I can't call somebody and get that reassurance. I can't do all that. That sounds scary. I know it sounds scary on the surface. You're telling me, Wonder Bro, I can't do that thing where I run to the bathroom every time I'm anxious. I know that sounds scary to do that, right? I understand all of that. I understand the fear that comes with the idea of dropping compulsions. But I want you to understand, it is how your brain's going to learn. And if you're truly using the two main keys, which is positive behavior and no longer fighting with your thoughts and feelings, how can you say that you're truly using the two keys if you're using compulsions? Because compulsions go against the two keys. The two keys are positive behavior. You can't be using positive behavior if you're using compulsions all the time. The other of the two main keys is to accept the thoughts and feelings and not fight with them. How could you be accepting the thoughts and feelings and not fighting with them if you're using compulsions all the time? Right? So compulsions go against everything that the two main keys stand for. Compulsions go against your brain's ability to learn that these things are not real dangers. Compulsions give you short-term relief, but they're not worth the price that you're having to pay, right? They're not worth the price that you're having to pay. Understand that. Now, you can go at your own pace. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can go at your own pace. You can slowly start to reduce these compulsions if you wish to do that. You can go completely full force. I don't know. It's up to you. But I just wanted to give you guys a clear understanding of what a compulsion is. A compulsion is something you do in order to get relief from anxiety. It's short-lived, and you get that quick kind of instant little bit of relief, but you are paying the price of your brain never learning as a result. That is what a compulsion is. So next time you're confused, simply ask yourself, what am I doing to try to fight the anxiety? And then practice not doing that thing. That thing could be a lot of different things, but practice not doing that thing. You will start to teach your brain that the triggers are not justified, right? You will start to retrain your brain. So that was a mouthful, and that was also the point of today's stream. What is a compulsion? I hope that, answers some of your questions out there. If you're dedicated to the two main keys, you got to get rid of compulsions, because how could you be possibly not fighting with your thoughts and feelings and using positive behavior if... Right? If you're doing a bunch of compulsions. Just they can't coexist. They can't coexist. So hopefully this, puts it into perspective. Somebody, here's the way I'm living my life. Here's what I need to change. And hopefully you make those changes. I'm saying the word hopefully a lot, but I hope you make those changes, right? Because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. I think you've been down this road long enough. I think you've had enough of having to deal with this anxiety. I think you've had enough of having to live your life this way. I think you've had enough of having to carry around a backpack full of compulsions that are just weighing you down and shrinking your life, right? I think you've had enough of all of this. So, I believe moving forward that if you want it bad enough, you will start to work on those compulsions. You will start to work on cutting those out, right? That was the point of today's stream, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. I'm starting to remember where to point the thumbs up, which is right over here. But yeah, I would appreciate the thumbs up if you enjoyed today's stream, guys. We're going to switch on over to post-stream, get us some music going, and also chat with the chat for a little bit. Before we do that, though, we need some music, man. We can't sit in silence. We need some music. Let's do Miami Vice today, because why not? Sanchez is in here. That's perfect. We'll do some Miami Vice. Let's see. Ad. We got an ad. Wait for it. Wait for it. All right. There we go. All right. Adjust that volume a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have this set up. I have this set up coming out of my speakers. I need to set this up coming out of my headphones. There we go. Okay, much better. Much, much better. All right, who we got in chat? Bro, I went 360 from staying home and suffering every day to giving speeches in front of 200 people. I got my life back, so thanks, bro. You was a part of my journey into recovery. That is awesome, dude. I love to hear it. Beautiful. Beautiful. My pleasure, Michael. Wow, that is amazing. Yo, Wonder Bro, been having trouble sleeping lately. Just woke up after an hour of sleep. It's 3:30 a.m. here. Sleep disturbances is definitely not uncommon. What is up, Sky, aka Stud Muffin? How you doing? Had so many compulsions, and the more I do them, I'd end up with new ones. It really is just better to walk away and not do them in the end. It is, and I understand it's a bit tough. It's not like the easiest thing in the world to do that, but it's ultimately how your brain's going to learn, right? It's how your brain's going to learn in the end, so it is worth walking away. It's absolutely 110% worth walking away. The main reason being that, you know, your brain sees these compulsions. It sees you taking action, right? It sees you taking action, and it sees you doing this. Panda, thank you so much, Panda, for the $15 tip. Hope you're ready for the weekend. Did have a question, but I will ask in chat. Okay, that's fine. Love the streams. You give us strength. Thank you so much, Panda, for the $15 tip. We are on a 134-day streak. I love you guys so much. Give her a big round of applause, please. Her or him, I'm not sure. Just give them, there you go, a big round of applause. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for the $15 tip, Panda. Love ya. Yeah, a bit of struggle, but you know the two main keys are helping. You gotta stick with it. You gotta stick with it. Don't get confused, guys. Don't think to yourself, well, why is Wonder Bro talking about compulsions now? Why is he not just sticking to the two main keys? That is the two main keys, right? Don't get confused. Don't think I'm adding things to you here. I'm not adding anything. That is the two main keys, right? So basically, the two main keys, like I said, are positive behaviors, living your life, right? And accepting the thoughts and feelings. So when we talk about compulsions, that's all of your negative behavior. That's what you're doing now. That's all the reassurance seeking. That's all of the Googling. That's all of the staying in bed 24 hours a day. That's all of the running to the bathroom. That is all the things, the little things, right? You have to figure out what yours are for yourself. But that's all the little negative behaviors that you do to try to get rid of anxiety, to fight anxiety. So, you know, don't think I'm adding things to you here. When I say cut out your compulsions, what are compulsions? Things you do to fight the anxiety or try to get relief from it. When I say cut out compulsions, I'm basically just saying what I've always said. Two main keys. Positive accepting behaviors and no longer fighting with the thoughts and feelings. So don't think I'm adding anything to you. I'm just putting it in a different way, as I always try to do. I get anxious every morning, but I no longer care. I just comfort myself, get to work on time, and start my day. By the time I get my car, my anxiety is gone. Awesome, dude. Keep at it. You deserve all the greatness. I am a her. Okay, just making sure. I wasn't positive. Um, I guess the name Panda Cookie could go either way, right? I think my compulsions are watching anxiety vids, having major intrusive thoughts lately, but been going for drives engaging. So again, if you're kind of like confused on what your compulsions are, you're trying to figure out, hey, what are my compulsions? Let me turn down the music just a tad. If you're confused on what a compulsion is, what are my compulsions, what are my negative behaviors, ask yourself the question, what is it that you do to try to get relief from the anxiety? If it's something you're doing to try to fight the anxiety and get relief from it, then you found your compulsion, right? Or one of your compulsions, right? There's probably many. Just continue to ask yourself that question. What am I doing to try to fight the anxiety away? And spot what it is that you're doing to try to fight the anxiety away. And then slowly stop doing those things, right? Slowly stop doing those things. That way you can get on with positive behavior and no longer fighting the thoughts and feelings. So again, if compulsions, because I know they give you short-term relief, right? If they didn't cause such a devastating result, which is your brain never learning and never getting the idea that the triggers are irrelevant, if they didn't cause that, I would say go for it. I'd say get your relief where you can get it, man. Have at it, right? But the only problem is those compulsions, they give you short-term relief, but then the brain never learns and you stay stuck in the cycle. So it's like I can't give you a free pass on the compulsions. I just can't. If it wasn't for that reason, I would say have at it, man. Do as many compulsions as you want if it brings you relief, but it's too heavy of a price to pay. These compulsions are what's keeping you stuck. Your brain is never going to learn that this anxiety is irrelevant and not needed, and that the tiger doesn't exist, the danger doesn't exist if you live with a ton of compulsions. It's just never going to learn. So at some point we do got to work on eliminating those, right? Gustavo, what's up, dude? I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Hope you're having an amazing day. Oh man, I missed the ad. All right, 1 second, guys. Hold on, just give me a second. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Did I miss a comment from Charles? Let's scroll up. I probably did. Would psychomotor agitation... Oh man, you're gonna have to put it in like third grade terms for me. Would psychomotor agitation be a part of compulsions? My therapist told me she noticed I'm doing that. It's not constant, but only when I'm highly anxious. You got to remember, I'm just a fat dude with tattoos who's been sensitized and knows how the brain works. I'm not a therapist, so psychomotor agitation, blah 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 blah. I'm not really sure. You're gonna have to spell it out to me, like I'm 4 years old, and then I can help you. And then I can help you. I'm just a fat dude who smokes and drinks Mountain Dew, who has been sensitized several times in his life, and then learn about acceptance and how the brain works. But I didn't get my terms from a medical textbook, so use smaller words. Let's see. Wonder Bro is the alien we need yet don't deserve. There you go. There you go. We got a whole conspiracy going on. No, they've got a whole conspiracy with the alien thing going on the Discord, so we're not shy about the alien talk around here. Maybe I'm secretly an alien. That's why I'm so fascinated by them, and I decorate my streams in aliens. I'm glad you understand where I'm coming from, Charles. Don't get me wrong. I know some big words. Prefrontal cortex, amygdala, limbic system. You know, I know the basics as far as the big fancy words and terms go. I know how the brain works as far as anxiety is concerned, in and out. But as far as the big fancy terms go, some of them I'm not familiar with because I didn't learn this through college. I didn't learn this through any sort of textbook. So some of the big fancier terms I'm not insanely familiar with. But I can still tell you how the brain works in and out. It's just I'm going to put it in much more simple terms. I'm going to use the word fuck a lot, and I'm going to use much shorter words to get my point across. Which is okay, right? That's fine. That's fine. In fact, I think more people would learn from medical textbooks if we replaced all the big fancy terms with shit, piss, fuck, and all that, right? I think more people would understand. Like, you crack open a textbook and you read the first line and it's like, okay, you are suffering from nerves that are really fucking tired because you do a bunch of negative bullshit that tells your brain that there's a danger when there's fucking not. If you read that compared to your limbic system is highly sensitized due to your psychomotoristic limbic system ability to process data and information based on your 5 senses of your behavioral use. You know, nobody wants to hear that shit, right? I think we should simplify it. Simplify it, dude. I think that's what they should do. I want to start a movement where we simplify all of this shit because nobody's got time to try to read those words. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. If anyone is an alien, it's me. I have Asperger's. Everything in this world is alien to me. We could all be aliens for all we know. Right? Like, we could all be aliens at this point. Complicating the thoughts part. A lot of people seem to complicate the thoughts part. The funny thing about complicating the thoughts part of things is that you're just doing even more thinking, when really it just needs to be a direct to the point, okay, if that thought is there, that thought is there sort of deal. Basically, a good way to put it is, if you're not freaking out over your thoughts and feelings, trying to do something about them, then you're on the right track. Does that make sense? As long as you're not trying to do something about the thoughts and feelings, and you're just like, okay, it is what it is, and you're not using a bunch of mental or physical compulsions to try to fight them off, then you're on the right track. Does that make a little bit more sense? So a good question to ask yourself is, am I doing anything mentally or physically to try to get relief from these thoughts or feelings? If the answer to that question is yes, we should probably identify what it is that you're doing. Like pacing, moving things around, stuff like that. Cleaning is one too, but should I allow that is basically like a purposeless motions and restlessness. So that's a good question. So should I allow that? Again, it comes down to, what are you doing to are you trying to do things to make the anxiety go away? Yes or no, right? So that's really how we determine what a compulsion is. If it's something that you're doing in order to try to make the anxiety go away, then it's probably a compulsion. If it's something that you're doing because why not, or because I need to, or because I want to, then that's great. But let's say you're really triggered and you're like, okay, I need to pace around the entire house in order to not feel triggered, then it's a compulsion, right? Because again, it's something that you're doing in order to try to make the anxiety go away, right? It's something that you're doing out of a desperate attempt to fight with the anxiety. So really, while you're up pacing around in a ton of circles, right, to try to get relief from the anxiety, the whole time the brain is thinking, wow, he is really pacing around trying to get away from that tiger. You see how the brain kind of interprets that. More fear, yeah, most people do. Is it okay to cut off the extra thoughts you had? Yeah, because the extra thoughts really is the compulsion. It's the you trying to fight with the thoughts, right? So not only is it okay, it's necessary to kind of shorten that to, all right, you know, if that thing happens, that thing's happened, and then you deal with the anxiety that comes as a result of that. You see what I'm saying? So like a thought is there or a feeling is there, and you're not trying to do anything to change it or fight with it or make it go away. You're just kind of like, okay. So basically it's all about dropping the fight, and that's really what a compulsion is. It is a fight to try to get rid of a thought or feeling, right? So if you're up in your head arguing with a thought in hopes of getting rid of it, then that's definitely a compulsion. We need to change that to, okay, you know, say what you will sort of deal, and then do something in reality that's positive in nature. But basically any compulsion is any sort of attempt to fight off a thought or a feeling. Yeah, let them say whatever, but you don't fight with them. right? So you're not adding to them. You're just like, okay, it is what it is. Like they can, the thought can say whatever, but I'm not up in my head trying to figure it out or fight with it or debate with it or anything like that. Does that make sense? Like a thought says something horrible is going to happen. Like the most that you would probably want to reply to that with is like, okay, it is what it is. Like if that happens, it happens. So you're not trying to fight it or change it. Soccer Mom, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Soccer Mom. That puts us at 25. Thank you. I appreciate you. The physical pains from the anxiety is so painful. I am just so effing tired of it. Is being effing angry at it a compulsion? No. So a compulsion, again, is anything you do to try to change the thought or feeling. You can get frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated. Everybody gets frustrated. But again, don't try so hard to do something to get rid of the thoughts and feelings. So basically, how do you stick to the advice while you're feeling very stressed and probably not getting much sleep? Well, I'll tell you, everyone who's ever been through this journey suffers from probably not getting enough sleep and a lot of stress, right? Like that's just very common parts of this journey. So for starters, you're not alone. And secondly, I would say just continue to stick to what you know works. And what works is not trying to fight any of those thoughts and feelings away. It's always going to come back to that in some way, guys, right? It's always going to come back to that in some way. So, one of my personal biggest compulsions was try to figure out the thoughts in order to make them go away, right? So if I had a thought that said something bad was going to happen, I would do everything in my power to make sure it wouldn't happen by like contacting the person and like trying to get reassurance from that person or avoiding the situation entirely or whatever. All of these compulsions, I would do a lot of mental stuff like trying to reassure myself mentally that this bad thing wasn't going to happen. Of course, all these compulsions led to my brain never learning. So again, I'm trying to make it super simple today. It's always going to come down to don't do anything to try to get relief from the thoughts or feelings, right? You don't have to be perfect at this and you can go at your own pace, but really it's all going to come down to don't try to do anything to get relief from the thoughts and feelings, right? Because that is a compulsion. It's some sort of a fight, whatever it is that you're doing. Your brain won't be able to make the connection that thought or that feeling or that situation or whatever your trigger isn't a real danger if you're always doing something to try to neutralize it, right? So stop trying to neutralize, basically. So if you get a thought that something bad's going to happen and you spend a lot of mental energy trying to reassure yourself that it's not going to happen, well, then your brain is going to assume that, okay, that is a danger because they're trying really hard. Being scared of the anxiety compulsion, no, a compulsion is anything you do to try to fight the thought or feeling away. It is either a mental activity or a physical activity that you indulge in to try to make the thought or feeling go away. So if you're mentally trying to reassure yourself that bad thought won't happen, then if you're pacing around the house to try to get rid of the anxiety, anything that you're doing to try to fight the anxiety off. So fear is going to be there. Dr. Claire Weeks called that first fear. Second fear is really the fight, basically, is a good way to put it. It's that mental or physical fight that you do. That's a good way to put it. So, fear is going to be there. We call that first fear, but second fear is any sort of fight that you do, mental or physical, to try to get rid of it. And also one thing that I kind of want to address just in case we don't really talk about medication here. It's something we don't do. But if anybody is on medication or whatever, it's a personal choice. I don't want you to think that just because you're on medication means you can't make progress. That's not true. Even Dr. Claire Weeks said that it's okay to have a crutch. I personally didn't go that route, but if you are going that route or deciding to, that is okay. That one little thing is not going to hold you back. You can still make great progress on working on all of your other compulsions, and still make amazing progress, right? And if at some point in the future you decide that you want to get off the medication or whatever, that's all your choice, right? It's all your choice. But I just didn't want anyone thinking that, they couldn't make progress if they were on some sort of medication. It's just not true. There's, a million other compulsions you probably have that we can work on, and you can make great progress, and you can start feeling very well. And if you decide that you want to, get off that later down the road, that's all personal choice, something you can decide to do. Basically, what if this happens, you get really sick, etc. I start adding thoughts while I go to the hospital and picture these scenarios when I should have stopped worried. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have said it any better myself. You start going through all these mental activities to try to reassure yourself, and that's what we don't want to do. If the intrusive thought says, what if you get really sick over there, you just say, okay, well, if I get really sick, I get really sick, right? That's facing the thought and showing the brain that it's not a real danger, which in itself, can make you anxious, but that's okay. So, if you think about it kind of in those terms, right? A thought comes in and says something horrible is going to happen or whatever, an intrusive thought, and then you try your best to neutralize that with all of your mental activity, and reassurance to yourself and whatnot, and trying to play through that make-believe fake scenario in your head. Then you're trying to avoid the thought, you're trying to shut it down, which just basically is funneling power into it. If it's a physical feeling, and let's say you get up and you run around the house real quick, right? You're trying to escape from that physical feeling. We could call that a compulsion. So you can see how it's like both, a mental and physical sort of act. And that's why the two main keys are what they are. So you don't fight with the thoughts and feelings, right? That's half of the equation. And the other half is positive behaviors, living life. So you can see how the two main keys tackle both physical and mental compulsions, right? You see how it all comes back to the compulsions in one way or another. And that's why the two main keys kind of tackle both. I just turned on the AC. Hopefully it's not too loud. It's a bit stuffy in here. I'll try to point it the other direction. Anyone ever seen a UFO? I have not seen a UFO. Not that I know of. I mean, every time I kind of look up in the sky, I'm like, oh, airplane. I don't know. Maybe I did see a UFO and I didn't even know it. What's up, Amanda? I didn't see you slip in there. That AC is not too loud, is it? I wish we could watch videos together and stuff on here, but copyright strikes, you know? Are you a cold, easy person to sleep with the fan on in the winter time? I sleep with the fan on pretty much all the time. There's like no in between for me. No in between for me. I like to stay cold. "25 degrees. One day last winter had the fan on. He gets cold easy." I've got like the AC on in ridiculous days. I probably shouldn't have it on, but I don't know. I've always been that way. It was worse when I was younger. It was worse when I was younger. I would have the like all sorts of things on, keeping it like freezing cold. I feel like I've grown out of that just a little bit, but not really at the same time. I don't know. According to like anybody and everybody who's ever been in my personal space, they're like I keep it way too cold. But I'm also getting caught up on the comments, not the live comments, but comments that have been left on my other videos while we're chilling here for a second. So if I seem a little distracted, that's why. Almost time for an Anxiety Mythbusters Part 2 video. Or short, rather. You guys enjoy those? Should we do more shorts around here? Because I'm always back and forth on that. That's where most of the work comes in, not adding the extra thoughts and worry for myself, but it's paid off so much, that and facing my anxiety. Well, it's very tempting, right? It's one of the most tempting things. So, of course, when a thought comes in and anxiety kind of latches onto it and makes it seem like the end of the world, it's very tempting to want to follow that. We used to call it follow that. To want to follow that and neutralize that and kind of stomp that out, but instead of stomping the thought out, you need to stomp all of the worry out, all the fighting with it out. That's what needs to be stomped out. So it needs to be like a total facing of it. A lot of people kind of just assume that the only thing you want to face is the physical feelings, that you don't want to face the thoughts. You do want to face the thoughts too, and the only way to really face the thoughts is to not try to neutralize them. By neutralizing them, and by neutralize I mean fight with and try to make go away, by neutralizing them, you're not really facing them. So your brain never really gets a chance to learn that they're not relevant, right? So, again, a big mistake that people make is they think it's just about facing the physical feelings. It's not about facing the thoughts. Well, it's about facing both. We say face anxiety, and that means in general, whatever comes with the anxiety, the thoughts included. And, the only way to really face them is to not try and neutralize them. That's the only way you can really face a thought, right? Like, facing a physical feeling is pretty obvious how you do that. You don't escape the situation. You keep doing your thing, right? You don't go for any physical sort of compulsions. That's pretty obvious. When it comes to thoughts, people get a bit confused, but it's the same concept. If you're going to face a thought, then you can't neutralize it, right? You just let it say what it wants. It'll leave when it wants, right? It'll stay as long as it wants, but you're not trying to neutralize it in any way. So, same concept as facing a physical feeling. 7-8 minute vids about different anxiety aspects where you just motivate people with your stories and examples. Those are gold. Some more of like the classic videos. Gotta love the classics. I let them come. I just cut off any added mental chatter. Yeah, because the mental chatter is you trying to neutralize them. The worry that you attach to them, or the arguing or fighting or debating, whatever you want to call it, is you trying to make the thought go away, or trying to neutralize it, trying to pin it down and get it to stop, right? So you're right. You need to cut that off. That's why I always say, you're not trying to fight with it or debate with it. You're just kind of giving yourself an accepting reminder, hey, it is what it is. And you're facing the thought for what it is instead of trying to neutralize it. Just like I said, just like you would face physical feelings, you also need to face the thoughts and let them kind of do their thing too. It's basically just about letting everything do its thing without getting so heavily involved. And that's why you're seeing like a huge rise in popularity with things like ERP therapy, which is response prevention. Same concept as acceptance, right? It's really the same thing at the end of the day. Well, it is the same thing, actually. Thought comes in, says bad thing will happen. Said person is then not allowed to neutralize it with their thoughts or physical actions. They're just told to face it, right? They're told to have an is what it is attitude and just kind of let it happen and not try to neutralize the thoughts. So you're seeing a rise in the popularity of that sort of therapy, which again, like I said, is the same thing as acceptance, really, but they're both the same thing. There's no difference. You're just allowing what is to be without trying to neutralize it. What to do if there are external stressors that trigger the anxiety. I always say that if there's something in your reality that can be changed, like if you're in a stressful relationship and you have the opportunity to get out of it, then get out of it, right? There's nothing wrong, and that's just an example, but there's nothing wrong with making positive changes to your real world if those changes are available. If they're not available, then the same concept still applies, right? It's all going to come back to this is how the brain learns. Got to cut out those compulsions, face the thoughts and feelings without the compulsions, without trying to neutralize, so forth and so on. It's always going to come back to that. The only difference is if it's a real life stressor that you can do something about, then there's nothing wrong with wanting a better life for yourself and taking some sort of action. But for most of us, that's not always the case. So, yeah, it's still going to come back to the same advice, though. At the end of the day, it's still going to come back to the same advice. Passed out on the couch. Long day at work, Pootie. I take it. A long day at work. I think Mr. Sky, aka Mr. Stud Muffin's at work right now currently. It's a sleepy day, isn't it? It just feels like a sleepy day. It just feels like a sleepy day. A steep learning curve. You will have those. I thought we had an ad for a second there. Just tired, almost there in my recovery. I'm just like, I don't care when I recover. If it happens, it happens. So yeah, dropping the obsession, dropping the worry, dropping the fight. Dr. Claire Weeks preached this, right? And yeah, I agree with you. It's one of those tired, sleepy days. Yeah, ironically enough, all of the extra dialogue, aka fighting, that you were doing with your thoughts was you trying to neutralize them, right? So that's what's got to be cut out. I mean, if you're trying to make a thought go away by adding extra thought to it, then you're trying to neutralize it, right? We call that a mental compulsion. So thoughts need to be faced and accepted without trying to neutralize, just like the feelings. So, says bad thing might happen. Okay, well, you know, it is what it is. I might need a nap. I might join you, Beauty, in a nap, man. 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Basically, Panda, it's as simple as stop trying to fight them and just agree with them. It's as simple as that. If you're doing anything other than just agreeing with the intrusive thoughts, then you're probably fighting it. I need my back cracked. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing what just facing these thoughts and feelings can do for you. And anytime you go to try to fight them off in whatever way, just try your best to work on eliminating that. Thank you for answering my questions. Much appreciate it. I'm getting better at two main keys, especially acceptance. Absolutely, Panda. That is what I'm here for. Happy to help. I think we're near the end of our playlist here. I believe we got another ad coming up. Dude, I have been sleeping on the floor for the past 3 days, something like that. I believe about 3 days, because my mattress is so horrible. Right? I was like, there's benefits to sleeping on the floor. I did a little bit of research. I'll give that a try. Because on my mattress, I'm like, I'm not getting my full 8 hours. Right? I'm getting like 5 hours of crap sleep on my mattress. So I was like, let's switch it up a little bit. Been sleeping on the floor, and honestly, I'm getting like way better sleep. It's like, it's always past 8 hours. So clearly better than my my mattress. But the thing is, it also hurts a little bit. It also hurts a little bit. So now I'm kind of like in a dilemma. I'm like, do I want to keep getting decent sleep, like more than 8 hours, but also have a little bit of back pain to deal with? Or do I want to switch back to the mattress and not get as good of sleep, but not have as much back pain? It's weird. It's so weird. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know what's going on with that. Maddie, thank you so much, Maddie. I appreciate you. That one caught me off guard a little bit, not gonna lie. Thank you so much, Maddie, for the $10 tip. 35 of 50. Thank you guys so much. I know I'm like not high strung today with a whole lot of energy, and I'm probably boring you guys to death. But man, it is just a sleepy day today. I don't know. I woke up, had some cinnamon toast crunch, watered my garden a bit. I don't know. I'm getting things done, but at a very slow pace today. So that's okay. Thank you again, Maddie, so much. I appreciate you. Got to go. Have a great day, everyone. See you, Sky. Thank you for stopping by, dude. I appreciate you. Is anyone else just dragging today? I don't know. It's a lay on the couch and watch a movie kind of day. My husband and I are close sleepers. My husband's back pains are going. We sleep on blankets. Is there more to that? I think there's more to that comment. I don't know, man. It's just like, my mattress is horrible, and I've been wanting to buy a new one for a long time. Have you seen the price of mattresses here recently? Fuck that. Fuck that. I went on Amazon the other day and was browsing through, and like, even on the cheaper side of things, they're like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna try sleeping on the floor. I can't afford this. I don't know. I'll get a new mattress eventually, I'm sure, but for right now, sleeping on the one I've got's not even worth it anymore. It's just like, it's crap. It's so bad. I'd rather sleep on the floor. Oh, sheepskin. It's quite comfy that way. I'm not sleeping on like the bare floor, by the way. Like, I'm smart enough to lay down like 7 or 8 blankets on the floor first. I got some cushion. I got some padding, but My mattress is just old. That's the problem. It's just old. At one point in time, it was a decent mattress. There was nothing wrong with it. It's just, my God, it's been around for so long. Wonder Bro Sanchez, my boy. Hope you're having a good day, Sanchez. I'll tell you what I really want. I want one of those, what are they called? Has anybody here ever slept on, like, memory foam? Like one of those memory foam mattresses? Are they, like, all they're cracked up to be? Like, is that, I don't know, is that just a gimmick? Or are they, like, really good mattresses? Because that's kind of what I was looking at, but I don't know. I don't know anyone who's ever actually slept on one of those before. Before I put money into a mattress, I kind of want to get some opinions. Let's see, Amazon's Choice mattress. You can get a twin mattress. I guess it's just the mattress. Yeah, a twin, which a twin is fine for me. Mattress, sleep, 10-inch memory foam mattress, 4.5-star review, which is pretty damn good for 151. Is that the whole? Yeah, that's the whole mattress. So that's not too bad actually. I thought it was a lot more than that. 150 bucks for twin size 10-inch memory foam mattress. 150 bucks is not bad. Of course, that's not like the frame or anything. Softness 4.5 stars, value for money 4.5 stars, sleep quality 4.5 stars, comfort 4.5 stars. I think I'm gonna set my goal for this. I'm gonna be adding that to my cart and come back to that later. 150 bucks is not bad, and I can always get the frame later. I think the frame is only let me see. You get the frame for 80 bucks, so that's not bad at all. Hey, a twin size would do me fine. I'm not sleeping with anybody at night. I'm not sleeping with anybody at night. It is just me. A twin is fine with me. Set up a second tip goal for the mattress. Like a long-term tip goal maybe or something. Long-term tip goal. I don't know. I'll probably try to get it like near the end of this month or something after I pay my mortgage. I might look into trying to get that, because you can get the mattress for $151 and the Amazon Basics twin frame for $80. So like 230 bucks you can get the mattress and the frame. That's not bad at all actually. A twin, please. Are you kidding me? Nah, it's I don't know. See, hold on, let me see. You can get a full-size mattress for 300, 279, 305. Yeah, see, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like to have the full, but it's like almost 200 bucks more. It's I don't know. It would be nice. And then I'm sure the frame or whatever is of course more as well. But I don't know, maybe I'll just save up and try to get the full instead. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything but what I got now is fine with me, even if it is a twin. Now you guys have got me window shopping for mattresses. Damn, typical. I don't know. I don't know. What is this? A full-size house bed with railings made in the USA. Why would you want this? Can I stream my screen here? Let me see if I can stream my screen. Is that possible? Screen capture? I can do that. Okay. Look at this. Who would want this? And why? Why would they want this? Let me try to make this a bit bigger. Can I make this a bit bigger? Hello? I'm like all over the place. Okay. Who would want this? This is $739. And it's like a little house that you put around your bed. Like, I guess that's cool. But you could just like go out to the shed and get some 2x4s. Oh, who was that? FBK! Dude! FBK, thank you so much for the $15 tip. I feel bad that the thing covered up the thingy. That was FBK, right? I think so. Oh no, now I've lost the thing. Let me make sure. Yes, that was FBK. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. Let me put this on top here. Sorry, I am slow today. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. So that takes us to tip goal. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Round of applause. I'm sorry. This is my first time ever trying to share my screen. I'm like all over the place trying to figure this out. Thank you, dude, for the typical FPK. Huge shout out to you. Thank you. I appreciate you. You the man. I just want to drag this down so that people know we hit tip goal. Thank you so much, FPK. It looks nice. It does look nice. But yeah, the screen capture covered up my little rainy cloud thing, and now I'm mad about it. And this is my first time doing this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Anyway, yeah, so this is cool, I guess, but for $800 you could just go to the tool shed and grab a bunch of 2x4s and slap it all together, I feel like. But cool concept, I guess. But anyway, so here's what the full sizes are. So like the cheapest is like $279, which is not too bad, I guess. And that's full, right? Yeah. Oh, let's get a California King, baby. Only $419. I say that sarcastically. But yeah, you can get a full for $279, which is not too bad. It's 50% off right now, apparently, which is cool. I might add that and consider my options here. I always like the promotional pictures they use. Like with the people smiling in the beds. Like no one ever does that, right? No one ever does that. That never happened. That's never happened ever. No one's ever got a new mattress and then the wife and the husband stare into each other's soul. Like, look what we've accomplished, honey. We just sunk nearly $300 into this piece of shit. I'm so happy about it. It just never happens. You gotta love it. I'm trying to make sure. Here's this one. It's 7-inch, $229. That's like $50 cheaper than the other one. Does it really matter? So this is 7-inch and the other one is 10-inch. Does it matter on the inch though? Does that matter? Does anybody know anything about mattresses? Does it matter that one of them is 7-inch and the other one's 10-inch? Like, does that make any difference whatsoever? Hey, thank you for stopping by, Panda. I appreciate you. What bed frame you have right now? I don't have a bed frame right now. It's just the mattress on the floor. I haven't had a bed frame in a long time. We used to have an old, like, wooden one. Like, really, really old. Like, grandparents type wooden bed frame. And that broke, like, years ago. I've never cared too much about having the frame part. I mean, it would be nice, but where did that one go that I was looking at? Where did it go? Where did it go? Right here. Right here, right here, right here. 7-inch instead of 10-inch. Not sure that makes any difference whatsoever. This has still got 4.5 stars. So I should go with the 10-inch one, right? I'm sure the 10-inch is I'm sure it is. Hey, size isn't everything, all right? Don't hate on the 7-incher. Don't hate on the 7-incher. What's the point? What's the point in this? Why? A teepee bed. I guess it's cool if you want to, yeah, like hang lights off of it or something, or maybe like throw a blanket, drape a blanket over it. You could have a fort. I guess that's cool. Oof, look at this one with 1 star. That lovely 1-star review. I don't know, I guess I'm kind of like considering this one. $279. Maddie says we have to go full. Twins just not gonna cut it. So I don't know, I guess this one's a good choice. 10-inch cooling gel memory foam. $279. Then you can get the what is this? The frame? Oh, the box spring. Fuck that. We don't need that. We just need the frame. Who needs a box spring? Full. Off screen for now. Brothers mattresses? Is that what you said? This? The Brothers mattress. Is that a name of a mattress brand? I'm confused. I typed it in. This is what I got. Oh my god, $1,800. What the hell? What the hell? $1,800 for a mattress? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No way. Ugh. We are window shopping, Kate. I'm sleeping on the floor currently, so I was getting people's opinions from chat on good mattresses. And that has brought us here. And I'm currently flipping out over the fact that there's a mattress worth $1,800 apparently. I'm not really seeing anything called Brothers Mattress. Wait, I see this right here. That's not a mattress, is it? Storage bags. What? What? I don't know. There's just so many choices. So many choices. How about twin size mattress 10-inch? I mean, it's the cheaper option. I don't really mind that it's a twin because, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't bother me. Twins that do the home remodels. I think I know what you're talking about. They have a mattress line. As long as it's long enough, I suppose I could fit on it. Property Brothers. There's a review on this 4.5 star mattress. I went to the worst ones. There's a review where this lady is blaming her cancer on the mattress. I don't know what that's about. I don't know how accurate that is. That seems like a bit of a stretch. That seems like a bit of a stretch now. Come on. Come on now. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I mean, granted, it was some like off-brand mattress or whatever, but everybody else seems to love it. But this one lady was like, "It gave me cancer," and I just don't know if that's very accurate or not. Seems like a bit of a reach. All right, you beautiful, amazing, lovely people. I gotta find her song. Where is her song? Wow, I've almost been streaming for 2 hours. Okay. All right, let's get our song going. Guys, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you. It's been a good stream today. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Remember, just to kind of pull us back to the theme of today's stream, a compulsion is anything you do to try to fight the thoughts and feelings, right? If we can start eliminating those, we can start sending the right message to the brain. I love you guys, and again, thank you so much for Typical today. I really appreciate you. Until next time, you lovely, amazing, beautiful people. Until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die?
Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
No.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
Won't die.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die?
My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
No.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die.
Won't die.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die?
Wait.
Did it die?